Hello YouTube, welcome to my playthrough of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templar. That's it, let's get to it. Surprised he even survived that.
Luckily, the canopy on Ultar's truck broke my fall.
Thank goodness for that.
The worst part of the experience was Ultar's driving.
What about the lens? Is it still in one piece?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's good to see you again, George.
Really? Well, I have to say, I'd have enjoyed Syria a lot more if you'd been there.
I wouldn't have been much
Oh, he's
use.
getting feelings.
Anyway, you did just fine on your own.
Yes, I did. Would you like to see the lens, Nico?
Have you any idea what this lens might be used for?
As a magnifying glass, obviously.
And that's it. That's what we got.
I'd better get back to the quest.
So we left something in the care of somebody while we went to Syria. We're actually going to go back and reclaim our prize. Oh, he's back.
You're back.
Me! I have returned.
Where did you go?
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you back here again.
No? Well, it is a strange thing, but I am here on duty.
On duty? But you're just sitting there drinking wine.
No, I am not just drinking wine. I am undercover.
I must be missing something. You're in uniform.
Precisely, monsieur. My cover is that of an indolent, wine-guzzling police officer.
You've got me convinced.
Merci. But in reality, my every muscle is poised, every nerve honed. I am drawn tight, ready to pounce. Bang!
Who or
Wow.
what were you planning to pizzang on?
You must have heard, monsieur, of the terror that is gripping Paris.
Yeah,
You mean the killings?
yeah, the killings.
Oh, at last, someone's taken action.
Finally.
People die every day. No, I am on the trail of Sewer Jacques.
Who's Sewer Jack?
Who?
Sewer Jacques, the terror of the subterranean city. He pops up here, he pops up there. The cops, they seek him everywhere.
What?
Is he so hush or beneath the neck? That damned elusive Sewer Jacques.
Bravo, that's very good.
That was pretty good.
Merci. I was up half the night writing that.
So who's Sewer Jack?
Who is this Sewer Jacques character anyway?
Ah, if we but knew that, we could have him in custody in an hour. But he is cunning to despoil the sewers of our fair city. He has committed many deceptions. He has pretended to be a police officer and deluded a poor war veteran.
Uh-oh.
He has pretended to be a jongleur
Wow.
What?
Is that the time?
and an American tourist. What nationality are you, monsieur?
Canadian. Well, gotta go now. See ya. Well, it's not everyone who can say they started an urban myth.
So now he's Canadian. Alright. Sewer Jack. Look how shiny that
The
looks.
priest was still busy with the chalice,
What?
so I decided to have another look around the church.
I literally just went to Syria and back. Well, while we're here, we may as well have another look around, right? I remember we looked through this scroll at the window. What happens if we put a magnifying glass on the scroll and look through it?
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove.
Well, that's handy. Let's
Per
have a look.
disciplinum meum lux videbus. Hey,
And now we have a scrambly puzzle. So now we're going to try and figure out the scrambly puzzle. There's 3 positions we need to move, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to have to try and fix the picture. You've seen them before. Well, I'd hope you've seen them at some point before. Okay, so we can see right here, it should be matching up with this part right here, purely because of the letters. So we'll go ahead and match those up. Doesn't have to be exact. So the second one, let's see what moves. Okay, so you can see right here, looks like the bottom part of right here, so we'll move that all the way around. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And the third one, you can see his hand being held up right here, and it looks like his hand is over here, so we'll just move his hand over.
the distortions came sharply in the focus. It was a Knight Templar burning at the stake. And below him a date in Roman numerals. A Knight Templar burning at the stake. And a date. Let me see. MCCC-XIV. That's 1314.
Ooh. You've heard that number before. Now we'll chat with the monk or the priest or whomever this is.
Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
Just
What
like
was
that.
the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
So, what's that on the window?
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh, man. That's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
What about the statue?
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum meam lux videbus means?
Let me see. That would be, by my teachings, you will see the light. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay. Nice shiny cup.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So let's go and look at that. In the corner.
Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something.
Maybe. So we pretty much have to just highlight what we believe to be Bible verses, and that's it. There is nothing else to it. Just gotta find them. It's pretty much like a word search. So it's going to be, for instance, you can see Psalms. I'm never sure how to say that word, so I say Psalms. And then it's going to be the colon and then 2 numbers after it. That's going to be the answer to pretty much every answer, but in a word search form. Okay, so what we can do is we can just...
Psalms 22:21. Not much to go on, but it must have meant something. If I examined the tomb more closely, there might be other clues to find.
So we're just going to keep going through. So there's another Psalms right there.
Psalms 32:7. The numbers referred to a chapter and a verse in the Bible.
And then we got Corinthians just underneath it.
Corinthians 14:5.
And then we got a plus here So we have John right here. I wonder if that works. Nope, John doesn't work.
John 4:11.
Oh, yes it does.
But a series of Roman numerals ran around the plaque. I made a note in case they meant something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more, Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the de Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
Okay. So now we found the final resting place of the Vasconcelos last guy, so Don Carlos. We should probably spend a lot of money going back to Spain and letting the Countess know. So let's do that. Nope, can't do it yet. So I guess we go and tell Nico what we found.
I solved another puzzle.
You did?
Well, I guess I did.
Well, what was it? What's the answer?
1314.
What does that mean?
It was the date when Jacques de Molay was burned, wasn't it?
Of course.
The answer was hidden in a stained glass window. When I looked through the lens, the picture changed. It became a man surrounded by flames.
It seems to me the answers to the Templar puzzles are as cryptic as the clues. Sometimes I wonder if the manuscript isn't an elaborate joke.
The Knights Templar weren't the kind of people to play jokes, were they?
Okay, so if you want to know more about the Knights Templar,
I'd better get back to the quest.
can we go to Spain yet? No. So the only way we can go is to the museum and speak with Lobano. It's not the only person we can speak to, but it's the most logical answer.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes. What is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff face. In the cave, I discovered a map bearing a phrase in Latin. In accidenta sita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map.
What about the three heads?
While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with three bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Naval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
Well, that's not good. So maybe
Thanks
we
for
should
your
go and
help,
check
Andre.
that out.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's go. I think we should go check that out.
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions.
He looks like somebody I know. Not even kidding.
You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoke so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
You can always, you can obviously tell this guy is going to be difficult.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean, when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too.
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though, I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
This guy's educated.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
We'll go down and check out the site. Oh, there's a guard right there.
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui,
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground.
That's funny.
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him. Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
no.
Talk to you
Well,
later.
he's given us
Au revoir,
absolutely
monsieur.
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's check this room right here.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door's locked, monsieur.
The door was locked. Hi again.
What is it?
I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks.
Simple enough. Let's go inside. Check it out. Water's running.
Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause.
I can't take the chain off this one. But what we're going to do is actually take this soap, because we need a copy of a key.
Perhaps I could make a copy of the key. key had made a clear imprint in the soap.
The bar of soap had the imprint of a key in it.
And just like we did in Ireland, when we went to Ireland, we are going to use plaster of Paris.
I knew keeping that plaster was a good idea. With the plaster and the imprint, I was on the right lines.
I had filled the key's imprint in the soap with dry plaster.
Okay, and then we're just going to wet it.
You can't make a cast without wetting the plaster. But wet plaster alone does not make a cast.
And we will dry it.
I used the dryer to speed up the process.
Pretty clever set of rules. Very logical in its approach, which
Well,
is good.
it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
Okay, let's try the grease.
Maybe not.
Okay, that didn't work. But if you noticed when we came into this scene,
Hey, monsieur, don't go with my keys.
okay, well, then let's give the keys back first.
Hi again.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
As I was saying, as we entered the scene, we saw a workman, and if you noticed, he had a paint can next to him. That's what we need to get to for the key. So to do that, we are going to use the key in the paint can.
Hey, monsieur, get away from my paint pot.
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Pah.
Okay, so I can't get there while he's there having his break there. So we notice we have a phone right here.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Couillard!
Hello, Nico. It's me.
Hi, Georges. What's happening?
I'm at the excavation, but they won't let me in.
Damn! We need to know what's in there.
Don't worry. I've got a scheme. I'm going to need your help, though.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Stay on the line. I'll go and get him.
And that is how we get the pot. So we have a quick chat with him.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
And you'll notice you'll be very stereotypical of any kind of construction worker in this conversation.
You've got a phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? She must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers and his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me. Stand back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk.
It sounds like my friend too. Okay, so now he's gone. We can use the key.
What would I need a whole pot of paint for?
In the pot. Simple as that.
The plaster key had soaked up the paint nicely, and now looked pretty convincing. Still felt like plaster, though.
Okay.
Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me, and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
What? Abuse? Ah well, I have a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
We'll see about that. Alright, so... push
I
this
couldn't
switch.
imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial.
Okay, let's talk to this fella.
Hi again.
What is it?
Ah, there we go. There we go. All I had to do was talk to him.
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
There we go.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So that's our cue. So now if we push this, he says, don't do that.
I turned the heating off.
Oh, maybe he doesn't. Oh, there we go. He's starting to blow his hands. Puts his gloves on.
As I'd hoped, the guard put his gloves on.
Perfect. Now he's got his gloves on, he's not going to be able to feel the fake key. So now we'll give him the fake key.
Hi again.
What is it?
I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Great.
Talk
And
to you
now
later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I need to move him out the way so I can get through the door. So we're going to bug Nico again.
Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, Josh.
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
Okay, so we leave. Yep.
This looked like a good place to watch things develop.
Hey, you! It's the phone.
Yeah, who is it?
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary?
It's not a chick, is it?
Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it?
Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate?
Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on.
I'm not talking to her.
I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me.
No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her.
You refuse. You refuse. I'm wasting valuable time.
Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day.
I have a highly responsible job. Pah, don't pah me, you elephantine oaf. My job is important.
Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case.
Meaning what?
Instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you. All epaulettes and no brains.
Why, you...
This looked set to carry on for some time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
That's funny. Okay, let's go. You don't actually hear any more of the conversation after that. And then we use the key and we can pop inside the door. Alright, so we're exactly where we need to be. So we'll pop down the ladder. And we'll notice a little circle that goes right here.
Close up, the pattern didn't make any sort of sense. It fanned out around an axis point, a kind of focus to one side.
So we're actually going to use the chalice. So when the reflection of the chalice, because it warps stuff anyway, it'll actually be able to make out what it is. Kind of like the spoon trick when writing a code.
And there it was, decoded by the curves of the chalice, the image of a church.
I found out what the chalice was for.
You've solved the puzzle?
Yeah, there was a distorted picture at the Baphomet site. When I viewed it in the polished surface of the chalice, it changed.
What did it show?
A picture of a church with a square tower. I guess I'd better return the chalice to the Countess.
Alright.
Hurry back, Georges.
We're going to go back to Spain and we're going to finish off the Spanish puzzle. Hey Lopez. We are actually going to go speak to the Countess first before Lopez.
Senor Stobart, oh, what a pleasure. Please, sit down.
Hi, Countess. The pleasure's all mine. I've brought back your chalice.
Why? You've had it cleaned.
Yeah, I met an obliging priest with a soft cloth.
Have you resolved the Templar mystery?
No, not yet. I don't even know what it is I'm after.
There are many stories of the knights secreting great wealth away.
Whatever. All I know is I don't want the bad guys to get it.
Ah, to be young and live in a world of moral absolutes.
There's always an immoral absolute. It just defines you. There's always been a world of it.
I discovered something amazing with that chalice. In Paris, I found a church where they recognized the coat of arms. I found the tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos.
You are sure? There can be no mistake?
The coat of arms on the chalice matches the one on the tomb.
Incredible. You have my most profound thanks. I must go there as soon as possible.
Yeah? Well, I'd be happy to show you the city. There's something else that I discovered carved on Don Carlos's tomb. Biblical references.
What are the references, Senor Stobart?
Psalms 32:7, Corinthians.
I am not a good enough scholar to know the Bible chapter and verse. I meant, what are the quotations?
You know, I forgot to ask the priest. I'll have a look
Very
around.
free-head.
That's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
But we do know where there is a Bible. So we shall go and get the Bible.
Mausoleum.
Alright, let's grab the Bible from inside here. Pretty simple. And we'll go back to the Countess, who's going to help us decipher the Bible code here. So now we just pull the Bible out and we use the Bible with...
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
Should be able to ask about it anyway.
Here's the Bible from the mausoleum.
Very well. Let us begin. The first reference.
Psalms 32:7.
Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. My hiding place.
Don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be leading us to where we found the chalice.
You are right, of course. The next.
Okay, John 4:11.
John 4:11. Here. The well is deep. The next. Quickly.
Okay. Corinthians 4:5.
Here it is. Will bring to light the hidden things. Any more?
Just one. Psalms again. 22:21.
Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorn. The last is confusing. Lions, unicorns, what does it mean?
I can't guess.
Salient points seem to be a hiding place and a deep well. In no sense is there mausoleum a well, Senor Stobart.
Is there a well in the grounds?
I do not know. I suppose that there must have been once upon a time. Lopez is the man to ask about anything pertaining to the estate.
So we'll go and talk to Lopez.
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
Mi casa, su casa. She's Spanish. She should be saying that kind of stuff. Cool. We'll go and pick that up. Seeing as I saw the little blue
There was a
markers.
small mirror hanging over the sink.
I don't know why you take it, but... Okay, let's talk to Lopez. He didn't like us to start with.
Hi there, Lopez. How's tricks?
Senor Stobart, I feel I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
I was impolite on our first meeting.
Look, Lopez, just forget about it. I came on like a snake oil merchant. I wouldn't have trusted me in your shoes.
You do not understand. Finding the chalice has given my lady a new lease of life. It's a marvel. She smiles, she laughs. The tradesmen are saying that she is on Prozac.
Okay, we need to find out about a well.
You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the De Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
A well? Si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa. How can you last a siege without water?
Great! So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
Well, you must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. Now, how do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
So the Countess feels that the curse is lifted.
I would not put it so strongly. Your discovery of the chalice was proof that the Templars never abandoned the De Vasconcelos. It counts for a great deal with my lady.
Okay, so if I click that, it's just going to say, okay, let me think about the well, blah, 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 blah.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobart.
So this next bit again took me a while the first time around. I don't really enjoy using guides, so I try and stay away from them as much as I can. Some games are a bit too crazy, and you don't want to spend 3, 4, 5 hours on one puzzle. Luckily for me, I got stuck on this part for quite a while, but as I said before, my grandmother helped me through. Always on hand. She pretty much did it for me. So. Okay, so what we're going to do is get the grease paper, and we're actually going to use it with the snuffer. And we'll set that on fire. We'll light the candle. And what happens? It gets blown up. So to proceed, we... Hey, Fanana, yeah. We will close the window first.
Now what? There was nothing to snuff.
feeling like an idiot, I put it down again.
Close off the window here. There we go. Now the fire should take.
Now what? There was nothing. Feeling.
There we go. Light the candle, and it should stay lit.
The candle had burnt brilliantly, but only for a couple of minutes. Some kind of special formulation, I guess. And had yielded up this. A complex shape expertly cut in stone. I figured it was some kind of key.
Let's inspect the chessboard again.
Now that it had given up its secret, the glass squares in the lectern were just decorative again.
Okay. So let's go back inside and talk to the Countess. We have just found another secret on her grounds. She would like to know.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
What do you make of this?
It looks like some sort of key. Where did you get it from?
It was buried inside the great candle in the mausoleum.
Inside it. What have you done to it?
I, lit it.
But it is irreplaceable.
Listen, the candle was to be lit in case of Moorish attack, right? Well, it burnt down in no time and revealed this key thing. Maybe that was the real purpose of lighting the candle.
What are you suggesting?
That lighting the candle was the equivalent of break glass in case of emergency.
Sentiment must not stand in the way of solving this mystery. You did the right thing.
Yes, we did. So what does she think?
What does this charred tissue...
You have...
that...
Okay, so
I'll
now
look
we've
around
shown
if
her the key.
That's okay.
We'll go back and speak with Lopez to see if he's thought about the well.
Here.
Hopefully he has an answer for us, because we need to find that well.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water, see?
Yes.
For generations, the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick. A Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See? Here. That is hazel.
Although it doesn't actually point at anything. Okay, let's go find some hazel.
I went over to find a suitable stick. I don't believe it. There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing.
Okay, let's find some other trees. I believe there's some trees over here.
I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha!
Aha, he says. Alright, let's go tell Lopez we found the stick.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
We'll find it
Sounds
in no
easy
time.
enough. We'll find this well in no time.
Yes, we will, George. Lopez reading his book.
Senor Stobart, you've found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In
never know.
truth, Senor Stobart, the loan was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it
Did
and
they
I'll
have
try it
cans
again.
back then?
Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
The can
It has
found the
been here
well.
all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
I could have fallen down that.
Alright.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
I bet you do. Let's go check out this lion's head.
From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece.
Okay, but he's got 4 fangs.
I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger. Oh, very funny, you psychos!
Senor Stobart! Senor Stobart! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine!
Hey, susto me has dado. You gave me a scare.
Nice try, Templars.
Alright, so dark areas don't mean well for George.
I wished that I had Leary's flashlight now. It was too dark to see, and I had to rely on touch. It just felt like a pitted stone wall. I'd almost been killed for the sake of a red herring.
Yeah, don't cut yourself so short there, George. So if you notice, light, same rule as the gem. We're going to reflect light. So we're actually going to use the mirror. I'll reflect the light through the mirror.
I realized I could use the mirror to reflect the light from above.
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket. It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it had seemed.
You'd be right, George. Okay, let's go over there now. And we'll use the key on the door. Just like that.
I slid the stone key into the lock. There were buttons that turned the dials.
So this one is quite a long puzzle to figure out. Luckily, I have it written down already. If you want to figure out, it's actually in the notepad. I didn't use the internet. It's in the notepad that you can use right here. It's actually labeled out with all the numbers. You just work it out from there. It's rather simple, but you do have to write it down because there's no way you can remember all that. I'll show you what I mean. Let me grab my notepad. Alright. So this is what we got. Okay, so we got X4. So at the top we're going to have an X. At the bottom we're going to have a 4. And we're going to lock that in.
I heard the sounds of the lock moving. Either that or the wall was going to come down on my head.
The second one is going to be 2 X's. So we'll go to 2 X's. And 7. So it's pretty much all the verses and what's in the Bible? Verses and chapters? Chapters and verses? That thing. Then we'll just pop over to 7. So we'll go back this way. So double X7. Alright. Next one is going to be L6. So L is right here. So we'll just pop over.
I must have made a mistake. The lock spun back to neutral and nearly took my fingers off. I was going to have to start from scratch again.
Because it wasn't an L. I can't read my own writing. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to go L triple X 1. So it's this one right here, or this one right here, sorry, and then 1. So we can go back. Ooh, we'll go this way. And 1. There we go. And the next one is just 3. So we'll take it to blank and we'll go to 3. And the next one is just 1. So we will go back the way we came. Go 1. And X7. I'll show you what I mean by the answers just after this. I probably should have showed you beforehand, but 7. And X2. XX5. We should have had, this should be it.
Oh, yes! Bonus points for that, I hope. I knew the old Stobart fingerwork wouldn't let me down.
Pain in the ass, that one. It's simple to figure out. Very simple to figure out. It's just a pain in the ass to do. So, if you go to the notepad right here, we haven't looked at any of this, so we'll just pop all the way through until the page that we see. If you ever go and play this game and you feel a bit lost when you come back to it, always check the notes. It's the same in every game. So all 5 games. If you have a couple of days off or you forget what you're supposed to be doing, come back and look at the notepad. It's very clever mechanic to get back on track. Okay, so around the outside the descriptions were, so this is your answer right here. Okay, so you can see the first one I put in was 14, then I put in 27, and I put in 6, and then 81. Is L 50? Just gonna check. Yeah, so okay, so L is 50. So the more you know. So that's 81. 3, 1. Yeah, you get the point. Just write it down. You don't have to keep going back. You can't open this panel up in the puzzle. So, unless you got a very good memory. So let's go inside and see what's there. And there's the children.
Before I left, though, there was one last thing to do.
So, I'm sorry that cut.
You won't
That's
be needing that
the anniversary
replacement
edition
piece
that does
anymore,
that.
Marcus.
So in the original, he sees the last piece of the chessboard
I found
that
it
the
with
children took.
You'll probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
George, welcome back.
Come in, Josh. It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, Josh.
Yeah, I know. The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
Does it mean anything to you, Andre?
No, nothing.
Maybe we should tell Andre what else you found, Josh.
There's a map and
Yeah,
a Latin
where is
inscription
Sheldon?
to the west at the edge of the world.
Georges found
That's
that in
6
a
instead
cave
of
in
7?
Syria.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we have got the burning of Jacques de
What do you mean
Molay and
6
the
instead of
date,
7?
1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that Georges found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, Georges.
And finally we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet, but I'm sure you're about to.
It was only my cat-like reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, Andre? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys.
getting
Can we
tense.
get back to saving the world?
Of course. My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
Yes, it did.
How come Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world?
To the Romans, the Mediterranean was the center of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place, inhabited by blue-painted savages.
It hasn't changed much,
They've stopped painting themselves blue.
except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Isetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in the wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as...
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
André, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Bannockburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, Andre? As in Bannockburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it that the Scots were helped by a shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Knights Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Bannockburn in a church.
What are we waiting for? I'll call a cab.
I can't go.
Andre, you've been loads of help, but
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was.
We understand you've got commitments. Oh, listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.
Alright, let's try and get up. We're gonna
Where
get
are you
told off.
going, George?
Do I need to spell it out?
Don't snap at me. If you're going to take a leak, why don't you say so?
Okay, I'm going to take a leak. L-E-A-K.
Tickets, please.
Oh, hi.
That's a
Recognize him?
standard full-price peak return. Don't you have a
Recognize
senior
her?
citizen's rail card?
I rarely travel by train. My ticket is perfectly valid, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you could have saved up to a third of the cost.
I do not need to indulge in puffling thriftiness.
Blimey, you're a funny old bird and no mistake. Tickets, please, sir.
Here.
Off to Stirling, eh?
Yes, we are.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed. It's a miserable place this time of year. Still, there's plenty of pubs and a lovely view from the castle.
Thank you.
I don't want to worry you, but there was something familiar about that guy.
Are you sure? You're tired. Perhaps you're mistaken.
Maybe. But I didn't like the look in his eyes when he spoke to you.
You recognize him? Huh.
Pardon me. She must be deaf.
Yes, my dear.
Do you know what time we're due in Stirling?
6:15, but we're running 8 minutes late.
Do you know Stirling well?
Yes, I do. Is that where you two lovebirds abound?
Yeah, we...
It's one of the places we thought we'd stay on our holiday.
Be sure to visit the castle, won't you?
Oh, I'm sure it's a neat place. But we are not really interested in history, are we, George?
No. Is there a church called St. Ninian's at Stirling?
Yes, there is. And I know why you're going there.
You do?
Of course I do. It's obvious you're in love. You're eloping, and they say romance is dead.
It could be. It might not be, but it could be.
What's the book you're reading?
Oh, it's something I picked up at the station. A medieval detective story. Quite well written for that kind of thing. It's been out of print for years.
What's the title of the book?
The Crooked Crusader Caper by Molly Pegram. I assumed the author was a woman, but apparently not. His real name is...
Professor Nigel Pegram.
That's right. Do you know him?
No, I never met him.
George is a great fan of these, though.
I thought they said they weren't interested in history. Anyway, so George needs to go for L-E-A-K.
Can't you sit still, George?
I need to go to the John.
While you're there, check out the buffet car, George. Unthinkable though it is, I am hungry enough to eat English food.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with English food. Should like these two fellas. These two fellas are pretty good.
Hi. Having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Away, Basha, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse my mate, he's taking a nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Right, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
And your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. Would you like a red nose?
No, thanks, pal. I got one of my own.
Because he's a drunk.
Have you ever seen this man before?
Aye, man. He's chalky white and I claim my 10 quid, like.
No, he's an international assassin, and he goes by the name Khan.
Well, aye, man, but I was close, you know.
Do you know what this is?
No, man, what is it?
It's a hand buzzer.
You won't catch me out with that, pal.
If I'd wanted to catch you out, I wouldn't have shown it to you, would I?
Well, maybe it's his mate, pal. Like a clever double bluff, you know.
Brilliant voice acting. It's got a spot on for Geordie right there.
See you later.
Let's find that bathroom.
Oh, no. That gangster creep from the hotel, Guido. Well, he didn't scare me. Hey, Buster. This is a no-smoking car. Okay, maybe he did scare me. It got worse. I suddenly realized who the conductor had reminded me of. Eklund, Marquet's burglar.
Let's go and tell Nico, who is not there. Nico is no longer where
I
he
should
left
have
her.
known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone. Suddenly, the sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved. Hey, buddy. Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't try nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans, like. So action at Brightling Sea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict in anywhere called Brightling Sea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, pal, I didn't. Have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
Oh, wait, man. An old lady, too?
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
You never go on their own. Always in pit.
No, she's been abducted. I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it, yeah.
No problem.
See you later.
Give it to it, pal. Don't jump.
I don't intend to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
Hold on now, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
just like that.
You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobart. Different causes, but a common enemy.
The Knights Templar?
Don't call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo-Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes, but one which our enemies will find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Demolay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop them. You and me together, and Nico.
No, George. My journey ends soon at the Garden of Paradise.
It's a
You're
martyr.
talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight
Ladies and
what
gentlemen,
they're after?
the anti-hero.
Symbolizes
The man we thought was
a colossal
the scumbag
energy
murderer all
caused
along.
by the alignment of the Earth's natural power fields.
Which are focused at St. Ninians.
The energy endowed the Templars with the power which made them great. A power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
How did you escape from the Bull's Head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the Bull to the village, Stobart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness.
No way. No way.
May Allah guide you to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it? He's dead.
Now that's what you call a death scene right there. That's a death scene.
Don't worry, I hadn't forgotten about you.
Untie me this instant, George Stobart.
I will, when I'm ready.
That's not fair, George.
No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die. I thought of all the things I'd never get to do, and kissing you was at the top of my list.
Ew!
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
What are you doing?
I'm out of here.
Not that door. Do you want to end up like Flap?
Not especially. What remains of him is well on his way back to London. I hope he was traveling on a return ticket.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd feel happier if we had a gun or something.
Khan gave me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You don't know the half of it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow. Why didn't you say so? Boy, we'll show them now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then. What does that sign say?
Apparently, during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You work it out.
Oh, stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
Let's find out. Alright. So this puzzle is a little bit repetitive. You have to do repetitive actions to solve it. Okay, so we'll start off right here.
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem.
Let's have a look again, see what else we can find.
Under one of the stones, I found a metal coin which was green with age.
What else would he find?
It was caked with soil, but what I'd found was a small cog and spindle.
Nice. Anything else?
With mounting excitement, I felt something between my fingers. It was short, hard, and black. Something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pen top.
Okay, try one more time.
I didn't find anything.
Okay. Let's try this cog.
The handle turned easily and the larger wheel began to revolve. Damn! Then the handle came off in my hand. Now that the handle was gone, it was easy to remove the cog and spindle.
Just like that. Now we can inspect this lovely, beautiful statue right here. And we can start
I pushed the handle into the
attaching
demon's
stuff
mouth.
to it.
The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket. With a rasp of metal on stone, I eased the second eye into place. The cogs all meshed. It began to turn.
Just like that. Alright, let's go.
As soon as I saw the flickering torches, I realized the bogus Templars had beaten us to the sword. But where were they now? And why was it so quiet?
Let's go find out. There's only one way. And that's forward.
Listen, I can definitely hear chanting.
You're right. I hear it too. What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So, what are we waiting for?
You can keep watching.
Will you
they're not.
look at that? Baphomet. Lavino was right. This place was ancient even to the Templars.
This whole place? This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
Rosso! Why, the double-dealing treacherous?
On the contrary, Inspector Rosso has been the model of obedience, an important quality in a true Templar. Now be quiet and watch, if you wish to live much longer.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here to witness the reforging of the sword that was broken. Here before God's sentinel, Baphomet, Grand Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience to you.
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. 7 centuries ago, our greatest weapon, the sword of Baphomet, was lost to us. Now we prepare to reforge it, to wield against new enemies. We shall lead the people to a new order, wherein all borders will dissolve. All will be united under the red cross of the Templars. George, we have watched your efforts to stop us with respect. But surely you realize that you have been misled by our enemies. Both of us want a better world. Fortunately, no harm has been done. We need determined, resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join us in true brotherhood.
Yeah. True. Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn.
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you. I'll see you in hell first.
Ah, George, I had great hopes for you. C'est la guerre. Eklund, kill him.
I swear, I just wanted things to be right.
Take them. Kill them. They will not escape.
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective and his beautiful assistant, it's going to be a pleasure killing the pair of you.
George, what are we going to do?
One last action.
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
You fools! You cannot escape us. Guido! Stop them.
But master, the powder!
That powder is from the English Civil War. You fool. It's over 300 years old. How explosive do you think it can be?
I thought it was all over, but Nico had one last trick up her sleeve. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Maybe, but this stuff is brand new.
Aww. Kissy kissy. You know that creepy weird stuff that happens at the end of stories.
We didn't stay long in Scotland. George had a vacation to finish, and I had another story to write. Not the real story, of course, but enough half-truths to fill a page and pay my rent for the month. George and I hung out together in Paris. I showed him my favorite restaurants, and he told me his best jokes.
You know, Nico, this city holds so many memories for me now. The cafes, the music.
The sewers.
Tell me about it. The clowns.
The jugglers.
Sewer Jack.
And your pal Labano.
Oh, yes, dear Andre.
When we first met, and I was doing my detective stuff, you kind of disappeared a lot, Nico. Were you and Labano,
There was something happening, but nothing to do with Andre.
Uh-huh.
It was something from the past that I had to deal with, on my own. So, I dealt with it, and now it's over.
Hey, did I ever tell you the one about the old Irish couple in the lottery?
No, but I think you're going to.
Okay, there's this old Irish couple. They've been married forever, like 50 years, and they win the lottery.
Thank you guys for watching this Broken Sword episode. If you've enjoyed the content, please consider leaving a like. And if you want to see some more Broken Sword story, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification button when it does come on live. If you've got any feedback, it'd be greatly appreciated. Please leave it in the comments down below. If you'd like to see some more live content, please hit me up on one of these live pages when I go live. I have different content for different channels. And at the end of the day, YouTube, don't just be cool. Be downright fierce.